What is good, YouTube? Stu here with a video on the future of the DC universe. So if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture based content that we try to do on a daily basis. Could subscribe, turn notifications on, and let me know everything about this video down below. And if you also could, check us out on Instagram at Stu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And if you could, check us out on Twitter at StuG. Right, let's get into this video. So marketing is going to change massively in all aspects of Hollywood, and somewhat I wish they would do this for video games. So there was a recent lawsuit because of a misleading trailer, very misleading trailer, where Universal Studios was sued and they lost the case. So if you think back to all the misleading trailers, Infinity War, Endgame, when you got Hulk running all the heroes, Marvel and DC kind of have to mislead you in a trailer somewhat to keep mysteries and keep scoops and keep all the information that's leaked out to actually being true, to kind of hold information back that could ruin a movie. So in a lawsuit, studio is sued over Vanishing Annie de Universal in a $5 million lawsuit for false representation after they cut her from the film in 2019 but kept her in a teaser. So essentially she appeared in a teaser for a movie but didn't make the final cut. Now this is huge because not just in Marvel and DC, misleading trailers have been everywhere for years. So Marvel may have to take a hit in terms of marketing, in terms of money. So if they do mislead things in the future, they could be sued by literally anyone. So a judge basically said, you can't mislead or manipulate or do anything like that. You know, it's one of those scenes where it's some of our favorite scenes from the film, but we had to cut them for the sake of the whole movie. That was just some words that was said from the article. I don't want to go over the article. This is just a little bit that I thought I will put it at the start of this video because it means for the marketing for the Flash movie, they've not really marketed it yet. That means you're going to have to see every single character in the trailer. Also for Aquaman 2, they're going to have to put Amber Heard Mera in the trailer or else you could sue Warner Bros. Pictures for misleading you. And obviously, if some people don't like a certain person, they've got to be put in the trailer. So it will affect marketing for every single movie coming out next year. 2023 is going to be a huge ass year. So if we go back months ago, before Mr. Zaslav hired James Gunn and Pete Safran, he kept saying the Flash movie is amazing, it's so great, but we can make it better. But we can make it better. And allegedly it's test screen just as good as Sony's movie No Way. Yeah, Sony's movie is No Way Home. It's not a Marvel movie, it's a Sony movie. Just like Across the Spider-Verse, Into Spider-Verse 2, it's a Sony movie, but people keep saying it's a Marvel movie. No, it's a Sony Pictures movie. Yeah, it might be Marvel characters, but it's a Sony movie. Why am I saying this? So the Flash movie is going to do it's going to do bang. It's going to bang. It's going to make so much money because Ben Affleck's in it, because Michael Keaton's in it. Not necessarily because Ezra Miller's Flash is in it, but Ben Affleck has a big fan base. Michael Keaton is everyone's father's granddad's favorite Batman, etc. So it will bang just for that. But why am I saying that? Recently, I've been talking to some people who have basically said to me that Ezra Miller the Flash is safe. And it somewhat does make sense to me. Now, I'm not saying exclusively this is exclusive information. I'm just saying what I've heard. Now, it does make sense because if we go back to a few months ago, before Gunn took over, there was a story that came out in October. The Flash sequel is already written. Okay, so they think the Flash is going to do that well. They've already done a sequel to it. Written by someone that's wrote episodes of The Walking Dead, The Conjuring 2, Conjuring 3, and Wrath of the Titans. It's noted the script is already finished. In case the Flash does well, it will do well regardless, which it is expected to do well, bearing any addition problems from Ezra Miller. As long as Ezra Miller doesn't cause any more trouble, which he hasn't done for months, this movie is going to do numbers. So realistically, irrespective of what James Gunn and Pete Safran want to do, it's clear most of the cast is going. I actually think Ezra Miller's going to be safe here. Why? Because the actor is not very well known outside of playing the Flash a handful of times and outside of the Fantastic Beasts franchise. So he's only 30 years old in real life, but he looks somewhat young. He looks between 25 and 29. He's got a baby face. He looks really young. So I think he will be the only person, maybe him and Gal Gadot, maybe the only people that survive the SnyderVerse casting. Because whatever happens at the end of the movie, I'm not going to tell you. I already know Everyone already knows how this movie ends. It sets up a new timeline, sets up Crisis. We don't know what they're going to change before they actually release it. June is a long time away. Is The Flash in Flashpoint realistically after everything's changed? He's the only person that knows what happened and what changed and all this kind of crazy stuff. So realistically, they could keep Ezra Miller Flash if they wanted to. He is a very popular Flash apparently. And apparently once you've seen this movie, everyone's going to love and adore Ezra Miller Flash, which is cool. But the main premise of this movie kind of makes no freaking sense when you combine the fact that they're going to reboot the universe and recast everyone, etc. But from what I'm hearing, he's safe. Now, it does make sense. They have to market the movie. They're going to put him in a Super Bowl advert, which is like $233,000 per second, minimum of $6 to $7 million, 30-second trailer, and then they'll probably drop the real trailer online. So realistically, the fact they're pushing him into a trailer, and they've got to show him in the trailer because movie companies can no longer be misleading in marketing. We know in the previous teaser, they kind of held him back and he should have appeared a lot more, but they can't hide him. He's got to appear in trailers. So as much as I don't think he's a good Flash, maybe my interpretation, maybe my opinion may change after this movie because we know he plays the Flash. He plays a Flash from a different universe that has no powers. I've just spoiled it. Oh god, the plot leak's been online for over a year now. The premise of the plot leak, 70% of it will still be true. We know they've redone a bunch of stuff. So either way, it does seem like he could be the only one that's safe. Not only that, have you noticed how no one's asking James Gunn, yo, what about Ezra Miller Flash? What about Ezra Miller Flash? What about Ezra Miller Flash? I honestly think Ezra Miller Flash is safe because if they've already spent money hiring a scripting team to script the next movie and it's already good to go as long as this movie does well, irrespective of whatever James Gunn wants, the next Flash movie could realistically be an Elseworld storyline anyway. So I don't really think it matters what James Gunn thinks because this is a DCEU movie and they've put close to $300 million into this movie alone before marketing. So irrespectively to what James Gunn thinks, Mr. Zaslav has faith in this movie or else they would not chuck $7 million into a trailer when they have no money, allegedly. So they want the Flash trailer. They want it to play in front of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which somewhat makes sense. It says here, it will be played in front of Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania Super Bowl trailer. It does make sense, and then they'll probably put it in the trailer. It's going to have to be somewhat of a 30-second trailer. The fact that Warner Bros. Have not done a Super Bowl trailer in 17 years tells you that they want this movie to do big numbers. Now, everyone seems to think it can do as big as Sony's movie No Way Home. I don't really know, but Michael Keaton does have a lot of pulling power. It will be the last time you could theoretically see Ben Affleck play Batman. So there is a lot of positives for this movie about why they want it to do well. So there's an article here that says Miller's has been said to be getting treatment, that he had a very positive meeting with Warner Bros. Back in August regarding the future of the film, meaning it's definitely getting released, and they discussed how to promote, hence the Super Bowl trailer. Then it goes on to say, what remains to be seen, whether or not Ezra Miller's sticking around following The Flash, as Gunn and Safran are developing a new DC universe, including a new Superman. Gunn has shut down claims about rebooting everyone. The current theory is Gunn is going to reboot all of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which would include Ezra Miller as a Flash, but Warner Bros. Discovery sinking this much dough into the movie, and the actor maybe Miller will actually be sticking around the DCU. I think he is sticking around the DCU. They don't have to put a Super Bowl trailer out. It would literally make no difference. There's a reason why they are putting a Super Bowl trailer out. I think Ezra Miller's safe, and I think people will get behind Ezra Miller regardless, because most people outside of the YouTube, like, you know, pop culture world have no idea what Ezra Miller's done in his personal life, or allegedly done in his personal life, to be honest. So I think irrespective of that, whatever happens in this movie, I think The Flash, Ezra Miller is safe. We know we're getting Michael Keaton's Batman 89 universe. Sasha Calle's Supergirl, I hope she's safe. What about, we don't know what's going on with Michael Keaton's Batman, but he will be in this movie, so it will be interesting to see him. So as far as I've heard, Ezra Miller's safe as a Flash, which it's sad to say that, lads, because we live in a world where Henry Cavill got fired. Well, he didn't get fired. He got released because there was no contract before Ezra Miller's Flash. But Ezra Miller is 30. He could pass for a 25-year-old. He is a younger version of the Flash. If you compare him to how old Ben Affleck is and Henry Cavill, not that Henry Cavill's old. I mean, he's mid-30s. Ezra's 30s. Fairly young. Could pass for someone much younger. But I do think the Flash movie will be quite cool because we know we're getting Michael Shannon back, Zod, Fiora, and I think this movie will surprise a lot of people. I don't believe all this test screen information is going to keep saying how great it is if it's not going to be great. I think it will be a nostalgia, acute send-off to the SnyderVerse, and it looks like Ezra Miller will somehow be the only SnyderVerse casting that's safe. I mean, All they had to do was keep the SnyderVerse casting, but change their characters around to suit whatever narrative and whatever agenda Pete Safran and James Gunn wanted to go with. But either way, guys, I think it will be interesting. I think everyone that says they're not going to watch The Flash because they don't care, I think everyone will go and watch The Flash just because Batfleck is in it, Michael Keaton's in it, and a bunch of other characters. And I think it will be a cool movie, even if it turns out to be standalone. I can't see Ezra getting fired now because of the Super Bowl advert. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at WooshStew. Check us out on Twitter at WooshStewG. And I will catch you guys in another video very soon. Catch ya later.